The machines in the hospital room beeped slowly, almost lazily, like they didn't care whether Lila's heart kept beating or not. The white walls seemed to close in on her. The doctor's voice floated above her like smoke. "I'm sorry, Lila. You have about 6 months left. Maybe less. 6 months. 6 months to live." Lila didn't scream. She didn't cry. She just stared at the doctor and nodded once, like a soldier hearing the sound of war. That night, sitting alone on the hospital bed, Lila made a decision. If my days are numbered, I'm going to live each one like it's my last. 2 weeks later, she stood outside Neon, the most famous club in the city. She wore a blue dress she had almost thrown away. She had lost weight. Her cheeks were hollow, her hair bald. But her spirit, that stubborn, fierce spirit, was alive. The music thumped inside her chest. The lights danced wildly. She walked through the doors and let herself fall into the sea of life. And then she saw him, Michael. Tall, messy brown hair, a laugh that lit up the room. He was surrounded by friends, but when he looked at her, it was like the whole world faded away. He walked straight to her. "Hi," he said, smiling like he already knew her. "Hi," she replied, surprised by her own smile. They danced. They talked. They drank cheap cocktails. They laughed until their stomachs hurt. At the end of the night, he asked, "Can I see you again?" She almost said no. Why let someone fall in love with a dying girl? But her heart answered before her mind could stop it. Yes. Days turned into weeks. Walks by the river. Ice cream at midnight. Movies where they laughed louder than anyone else in the theater. Lila never told him about the ticking time bomb inside her. She wanted to pretend just a little longer that she was just a girl and he was just a boy and they had forever. One night, lying on the grass and watching the stars, Michael turned to her. "You ever wonder if some people are just meant to meet?" She smiled sadly. "Maybe. You feel like a miracle," he said. Her throat tightened. If only you knew, she thought. It happened suddenly. They were walking through the city when Lila's knees buckled. She collapsed onto the sidewalk. Michael caught her just before she hit the ground. In the hospital, while she drifted in and out of sleep, Michael sat by her bed. He heard the doctors talking in the hallway. Cancer. Stage 4. Not much time. He felt like the floor was falling away under his feet. When Lila opened her eyes, she saw him sitting there, his head in his hands. "I'm sorry," she whispered, tears sliding down her cheeks. Ethan stood up, wiping his face roughly. "Don't you dare apologize," he said, voice breaking. "I love you." She gasped, covering her mouth. "I love you, Lila. I'm not going anywhere." Michael became a man on a mission. Doctors said no. Hospitals said impossible. But Michael didn't hear them. He sold his car. He broke open his savings account. He begged for help from everyone he knew. His best friend Josh even set up a fundraiser online. Late one night, after hours of searching, Michael found a hospital overseas, a place known for miracle surgeries. A place that could save her even though the procedure was difficult. It would cost everything. But he didn't care. He booked the flight. He signed the papers. He carried Lila in his arms through every airport, every checkpoint. She barely knew where she was. Half conscious, she whispered, "Am I dying?" "No," he said firmly, kissing her forehead. "You're living." The surgery was long. Dangerous. The doctors worked for 12 hours straight. Michael never left the waiting room. Emma, Lila's sister, held his hand as he stared at the surgery doors. Every minute felt like a knife. Finally, the doctor came out, tired but smiling. "She made it," he said. "She's a fighter." When Lila opened her eyes, she thought she was dreaming. The room was bright. The air smelled like clean linen. The pain was different, not death, but healing. And there he was, Michael, asleep with his head resting on the edge of her bed, still holding her hand. Tears spilled down her cheeks. "Michael," she whispered. He woke up, blinking, then smiled at her like she was the sunrise itself. "You stayed," she said, her voice cracking. "I will always stay," he said. Recovery wasn't easy. Lila had to learn how to walk again, how to eat without nausea, how to laugh without fear. But Michael was always there, patient, loving, stubborn. 1 year later, they stood on the same beach where they once watched the sunset. Michael dropped to one knee, holding out a simple silver ring. "Lila, you gave me a reason to live. Will you marry me?" She laughed through her tears. "Yes. 1,000 times yes." They got married under the open sky, surrounded by everyone who helped them fight. Lila wasn't the same girl anymore. She was stronger, braver, alive. And every morning, when she opened her eyes and saw Michael beside her, she remembered, true love isn't about living forever. It's about fighting for every heartbeat you're given. And together, they fought and won.